So let's make sure it's recording. Just want to make sure, because, you know, we want to make sure that this is recorded correctly. All right. Tom is at it again on A and B. And I'm reasonably certain I never said exactly that. Of course, you know, then a video went up, of course, of him talking about masturbating to 8-year-olds, which is pretty disgusting. I mean, why would a 60-year-old man sit there and play with himself while looking at pictures of 8-year-olds? Try to fathom that for a minute. The only reason why is he's a pedophile. Okay, and then after sitting there and going through that, and it's true that I really don't really care about English, and so I really just kind of write more like I would be speaking to you. I love it when somebody tries to call me stupid in a poorly phrased babble, but is parsed is the word he actually used. What's truly sad, that the truth of the matter is that you are a psychotic, spastic schizophrenic with delusions. Now, I don't go around talking about space lizards and telling people that there's something that holds my feet to the ground and hands that are wrapped around my heart, and I see and hear images and voices in my head while I sleep. But Tom did. Which I don't see anything and I don't hear anything in my head. That's just psychotic. And delusions, well, I don't have any delusions about things. If it doesn't have actual peer-reviewed factual truth to it, there's no facts to it, then I will dismiss it. That's why I'm not religious and, in fact, atheist, because there is actually no proof. And saying that the Word of God is proof isn't proof to me. There is no proof within that book. It's got tons of contradictions if you read it from cover to cover. It's not something that I'm going to sit there and go with. Scientific facts now, if you've got a test that you can show and it has been peer-reviewed, then I will consider that as factual and I will change my views to it. If you can find me any other proof that shows that there's more than 2 sexes and 2 genders for those sexes, and can prove that more than 2 people can get together and make one offspring, then I'll consider your option as, you know, a valid point, which hasn't happened. So until it does, it's fictional. I can dismiss it as absurd. So he goes on to say that I'm schizophrenic and with delusions, and have not the ability to even iterate cognitively the most and mostly stutter out garbage and the most crude and primitive language skills, while showing that your total ignorance in the entire world, nobody respects, and whose mother is ashamed of them. You're going to get some help this week, Dave. Okay, well, first of all, they call me Dee Dee, and yes, my legal name, that was my dad's name, is actually that, but that's okay. Project some more at me. No one's projecting. What you just did was projection, because everything that I've said about you is true, and you are a schizophrenic with delusions. I mean, anyone that thinks that space lizards is going to come and actually vanquish their enemy and shit them out on Mars, it's batshit crazy. So, that's Tom, right, who says that I stutter. And I wonder if that would be so true. Or is it more true?
Sorry. And they're, you know, they're telling...
That's stuttering.
They're telling the rest of us that we're mentally ill.
You are.
And there they are, they're like not mentally ill, but they're so uncomfortable with their genitals that they have to get them like modified.
No, you don't say. That's pretty much what transsexualism
I better not go
is.
too far with that.
Yeah, you better not.
Anybody here talking yet? No.
You think this is fun?
Yeah, it's my Everclear.
Oh, and you drink. This is a cup of tea.
And
it's clean. It's kept clean with a sterilizing dishwasher.
You know, I bought this about a month ago.
By the way, you see my house is not literally crawling with bugs at 3 in the morning?
I had a few Everclear pina coladas and a couple of Everclear.
So let's get to a little further. Other than the fact that he stares at the screen most of the time, in like a blank stare.
$5.
Let's see if we can pick up something.
Some force and it's the Trumpers, the people behind Trump, are seeking to spark a civil war so that they can implement full martial law. Because they are friends, and people like him have plenty of people willing to kill for money.
Really? So that's your theory on why Trump's
People
being an idiot?
shot a funeral.
More of that gazily staring at the screen. This man that supposedly looks so feminine and swished his hips, even though really when you look at him, he just looks like an old man stuttering and shuffling around like a moron. So there you go, Tom. Why are you staring so blankly at the screen? Are you a simpleton? Yes, actually, you are. This is him trying to read.
The marked peer-reviewed science.
Yeah, peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed. That's the scientific protocol through all sciences.
And he says you don't not have to tell it. You don't get it if you have to tell people you're a badass or not. More intelligent than you, that's for sure. I have no clue about DC. I'm sure you have no clue about deep space. You obviously do not have a grasp on medical science. And here comes Soil doing something and someone had to get translated.
Well, you probably won't translate unless you know exactly which one of the regions he's using, which you won't. Because
I think he's been at her all day. She's been spurting her brains out all fucking day.
you have to understand that the same scripts are used by multiple different countries. So, is it Russian or is it Greek? They both use the same kind of characters. Tom, you're an idiot.
He's telling her she doesn't even know her own language.
I don't really care about English and grammar. No, I'm not really into it.
So Nomad's next comeback is, I do get that the only thing emptier in deep space is the space between your ears.
These are things that you should really actually get into, and this is a very old book.
No, that is idiocy out of a mud hole. But then I'm sure you have never looked through a telescope in the 5-meter class.
Yeah, it's a 5-meter class. That's a 200-inch one.
That no one gives a shit about all this random meaningless bullshit to brag about.
This is one of the small, large telescopes. So here, Thomas, this is the 12-inch, which is considerably smaller than the 5-meter, which would be 200 inches, which I was lucky enough to get. I was lucky enough to get a 2-week stint at Brown Observatory in Columbus, Ohio, when I was 2 years old. Okay, so you're not talking to an idiot, which is very clearly shown when you actually watch one of my videos. Whereas when we look at your videos, we see dirt and nastiness. I mean, look at that. What is this over here in the corner? You've got garbage everywhere. Look, Thomas, look. Look at this place. Do look. I want you to see the difference between a clean home and what you live in, okay? I mean, look at this. Do you see any dirt? Are there any roaches and bugs crawling all over the place in the millions? No, but in your place there is. So I suggest you shut your mouth and learn that you really are a dirtball.